Today, we are going to look at custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit, and we're going to act like R&D. We're going to be judging these custom Magic the Gathering cards to see if we're going to be shipping or shredding them. Let us start off with Strained Focus. It is an enchantment for a red and a blue. Whenever a player is dealt damage, for each spell they control, counter that spell unless its controller pays one. What? What does it want? Whenever a player is dealt damage, for each spell they control. You mean like spells on the stack? Like cards that already... Like it can be cards in hand. I don't know if they're referring to spells on the battlefield. I think it's like, if you cast a spell, I bolt you, now your spells cost one more. It's a really weirdly worded card. You gotta let me know in the comments section in chat whether we're gonna be shipping or shredding this card. But this thing is a little bit, it's a bit strange. Who wants to use this thing? Oh, do you know what it might be? It could be like a control-ish deck. Like a blue-red is-it deck. You play this thing out, and then when your opponent plays a spell, they always have to hold up the tax mana, because maybe you're going to bolt them. Maybe you're going to electrolyze them. Maybe they're going to get hit or something. Mikey J wants to ship it. Ramen says, no, let's shred this damn thing. I think whenever a player is dealt damage for each spell, I think it should be worded each spell on the stack. Counter that spell unless they pay one. Do you know what? We can't ship this thing. Not refined. Not for refined to our tastes. Goodbye. Goodbye, Strained Focus. I strained my focus to try to understand what the hell you do. Okay, we got second Drought here. A black, white, and 2 generic enchantment. All creatures have Decayed. If you don't remember what Decayed is, it's a creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. When no creatures are on the battlefield, sacrifice second Drought. This actually is a really flavorful card. It reminds me of Periphery Nodes in some way. But it would just make you sacrifice the smallest creature on the battlefield, and then when there's nothing left on the battlefield, then you sacrifice Periphery Nodes. But anyway, in this case, it will put all the creatures in play in a position. You want to attack, you're going to be sacked at end of turn, and then when there's nothing left, this is when we get rid of the second Drought. Where's the first Drought? Where is first Drought? This is the sequel. Bruh, you farted, says this card is really cool. King Ginger likes it. On the other hand, Burning Paper Sun says no thanks. Maybe you're a creature-based deck. Good for Mardu Vampire. Good for zombies. Any zombies that come back onto the battlefield, this would be very flavorful. Also, zombies do come in Orzhov, so they would absolutely slot this into their deck. Why not just play another sweeper? Because maybe you're a creature. Actually, I don't know. I mean, why have counter spells that tax the opponent when you can just have a counter spell that says counter target spell? Ramen likes it. Futu Runner likes it. You know what? I think this is pass. I think it passes. I think Wizards of the Coast could print something like that. All right. Next up, we've got the Korzmal Eternal Wildlife. Red, 2 generic Phoenix, a 3/2 creature. Oh god, what is this? Like the next Arclight Phoenix? It's a legendary creature. Oh, that's how they're going to balance it out. Flying Haste. When Korzmal Eternal Wildfire deals combat damage to a player, exile that many cards from your graveyard. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. When Korzmal dies, exile it. During your next turn, you may cast it from exile. Well, then what's the point? What's the point of exiling this thing? It actually means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And even if it was in the graveyard and got exiled, well, I guess if you exile, well, you can't exile you can exile that many cards from your graveyard. So I guess the idea is that if you exile your Phoenix, it would come back. It's not very, you know, I don't really like the idea of things coming back from exile. The whole point of exile is it's gone. You know, this is how we deal with, like, what kind of graveyard hate is going to deal with this thing? It won't deal with it at all. So anyway, it's it's some sort of hybrid between like a Phoenix. So when it deals combat damage, when it dies, exile it until end of turn. So you can play it from exile, but nothing will trigger. It's like a weird Snapcaster Mage. The exile is to prevent graveyard abuse. Oh yeah? Shred too powerful? Pass for sure. This card is worse than Settle the Wreckage. It's so similar to Flame Skull. It's not impossible to print something like this, though. Well, you only get it for one turn. When it dies, exile it. No, well, you have to kill this thing. Then it gets exiled, then you can replay it. I guess we give it a pass. This is, in theory, they could print something like this. And it's not like you can cheat this in play. You'd actually have to pay the full 4 mana. So, I mean, even if you cast it from exile, you're paying for it. But it costs... It's not too expensive. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, 1 and done. We got a split. This is our first split card on this channel. 1 and done. 1 is a black. Discard all cards in your hand except 1. Done is blue, 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 3 generic. End the turn. Is it really that powerful? One, I guess you guys can't see this very well. The damn split card. Can't see what's going on here. I love the flavor of the name. 1 and done. Discard all. Okay, it has a merge though. 2 generic, 1 blue, 1 black. You may cast both halves of this card for its merge cost. That's not how this is supposed to work at all. You're supposed to pay for the whole full thing if you want both ends of the card. You actually get a huge discount. If you pay for the individual parts of this card, it's 7 mana. But if you merge it, it's 4. And I guess the idea is you, at the end of your last opponent, at the end of, or like on your opponent's turn before your turn, you could at their upkeep, play 1 and done for its merge cost. You discard your entire hand. They end their turn instantaneously, and then you go to your turn. Also can be like a hard counter spell, right? So if you have something on the stack, the turn just ends. So it's like they cast a spell. Nope, sorry. 1 and done. It's done. And you go to your turn, and I guess you just reanimate and just completely blow them up. I like the merge ship. The merge is just ridiculously overpowered. Cool idea, but probably won't see print because both halves should be playable on their own. I think they are. I think 1 is playable on its own. I think the merge cost is ridiculous. I think it's just way too pushed. It would be more fair if it was like Fuse. We already have Fuse. Yeah, isn't merge just basically just Fuse, but like just more broken? It's a more pushed version of Fuse. Gage likes this. Card isn't... I think it's completely busted. I'd see it getting banned if it was printed. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd see it. I mean, maybe. It's like an ultimate counter spell. 4 mana, your turn is done. It's like a time walk almost. You could do this at their upkeep and they don't even draw a card. They don't even draw a card. This card is... Okay, so how are we... Is it busted and we're burning it? Or is it great and we're printing it? No to this card. It's busted. In what situation 1 is good? You're a dredge deck. Maybe. Says some dredge player. Says some reanimator player. Just easily, like, dump your hand, turn 1, turn 2, reanimate it. Way's too strong for 4 mana. Alright, I think we have enough. We are, definitely not... Whoops. We're definitely not going to go with this one. 1 and done, you are done. The design is done. Desiccated Lotus. Hey, where do you guys go? 0 mana. Artifact. Pay 2, tap. Sacrifice Desiccated Lotus. Add 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. This is a very interesting design, but you still net mana out of this. So you get some... I don't know, is that broken in 2020? I can't tell if this is broken or not. Like, you're not going to get the mana immediately. You got to at least pay some mana. But you essentially would have 3 mana by turn 2 in any deck. Is that a real spoiler? No, it is not a real spoiler. We're all looking at custom Magic the Gathering cards made by people like you and me. Turn 3 Lotus Petal. Yes, actually, I guess that's how we should look at it. So I would say that is broken. It's turn 2. Sorry, no, it's turn 2 Lotus Petal. It's turn 2 Lotus Petal. It's Lotus Petal for turn 2. So you play land pass, then you play another land, and you have Lotus Petal. So it's essentially a Simian Spirit Guide. I mean, imagine this. Well, okay. I was about to say, imagine this in the Cascade decks. We actually can't play this in the Cascade decks because they would just cascade into this card. But some deck that needs to get to 3 mana by turn 2, essentially, like a combo-ish deck. Less powerful than Lotus Petal. I think it's similar. You still get a mana for nothing by turn 2. And you can, well, you can't really save it. You can just put it on the battlefield. It's fine. It's all right. So it's, okay, hold on. Some people are saying, you know what? It's like a ritual. It's true. It's hard to evaluate this card. Because it is essentially a ritual, right? But maybe there isn't that big, not as big of a deal between this and Pyretic Ritual, for example. Although you could bring this back from the graveyard more easily than you can with Pyretic Ritual. Not incredibly broken unless you drop this in numbers, so one pays for another, then it's absolutely broken. It's a net +1 for a turn that's forcibly delayed. Only strong part is the mana fixing. Okay, what do we think? Are we printing this or not? I think this is potential to be broken. That's why we don't see cards like this. But maybe it's fine. Good for affinity, maybe. I think the 0 mana cost, 0 mana cast cost is the problem. Yes, I do. I think you should pay 1 for this damn thing. I don't remember how I phrased this question. Are we printing this or not? Pass? Probably abusable. I like the sound of that. There we go. I don't want this to be printed. I don't know what the consequences of this thing are, but I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. You have to be really careful when you print 0 on a card. You gotta be really careful. Alright, Conjur Reality. Green, blue, 1 generic, sorcery, choose 2. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You can scry 1, then draw a card, or you may play an additional land this turn. So it's like sorcery speed Uro, the way I'm looking at this card. Sorcery speed Uro. So you can play an additional, it's sorcery. So you could like play a land, you could draw a card, scry 1, also play a land, you can search your land deck for a basic land card. It seems, I can't tell, I'm sure this is okay. It doesn't come along with a creature, and I feel like I've experienced this card before in the form of Uro, but not in sorcery form, so I'm sure this is okay. And it seems like the Council of Coffee also agree that this thing is okay. Tommy likes it a lot. Wants to see play. Joe, Logan. Oh, this is a true pass. All right. We're made Conjur Reality. You can conjure some great cards. We need more of you in the R&D world. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But before we look at nothing, I want to show you something called FusionGamingOnline.com, today's sponsor, where you can get all your singles, your deck boxes, your sleeves. I get all my Modern Commander cards, Pauper cards from FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, however, save 15% off all Zendikar singles and sealed product. But outside of that, you can pre-order cards from Dominaria United at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu, though, to get 5% off all your purchases and support the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online, and your ability to play any deck, any format, anytime you want. So it's good for grinding at the highest level, but it's also there to unlock your creativity to play whatever new weird, janky card you need. Hey, if it wasn't for Mana Traders, we wouldn't be experimenting so much to bring us the metagame that we have today. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_9Y6. And now back to the custom cards. So this is a very interesting one. It's an elemental incarnation. Oh god, not another one. One with nothing elemental? Reject! No more elementals! Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we've got, it's nothing. Don't worry, people, it's just gonna be nothing. Black, 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 6/5? With flash? That by itself is, you know, running alarm bells in my head. Alright, so we have Menace, Ward, discard your hand. Okay. When nothing enters the battlefield, discard your hand. So hold on, is this for the opponent? Or this is for you? Whenever someone targets this, we have to discard our hand. I don't understand based on how it's worded. And it can be evoked for 1. This card is busted, by the way. I think it is, actually. I do think it's busted. I don't even think the invoke is important. I think having a 6/5 flash creature is not bad. Not to mention you could put in a deck that's relevant for the graveyard. I'm a no on this one. Way too overpowered and undercosted. You could also blink this. Well, if you blink it, maybe it's not worth it if you ephemerate this thing. I don't think it gives you anything. Like, the ETB is not really that great. Busted with Hushbringer. Yeah, finally we're going to have the Torpor Orb Hushbringer deck come to fruition. They discard their hand? Oh, God. Then this is really awful. Yeah, so discard your hand or let this 6/5 thing just sit on the battlefield forever. Not to mention, if you were to blink this thing, when they, like, let's say they try to destroy it with, like, Fatal Push. Okay, ward happens. They have to discard their hand. In response, ephemerate my creature. Alright, I'll discard my hand too, but we're back to 6. It's like Sear of Insanity for 3 mana, basically. This is how I'm looking at it. Sear of Insanity. You guys remember that one? Sear of Insanity. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards his or her hand. It's got the same energy. It's got the same energy, in my opinion. Anyway, this card is disgusting. These are a lot of failures today. These are the people that are gonna make Modern Horizons 3, though. Mark my words. That's how it's gonna end up. You know, we all know. Okay, Laws of the Ancients. A white and 1 generic. You may use older rules. Well, that is just bizarre. There was once a time where mana flowed freely and burned those who danced too close to the ley lines. You may use older rules. Is this any way? This is an Unset card? You know, I think you're right. It's got a silver border. Alright, so they can make this card if they want to. Sure, I don't care. In the world of the Unset, do whatever you want. You want to burn yourself with mana? Go for it. Okay, we have Shoal Red, the Apocalypse. That's a real creature, isn't it? In the lore. Black, 4 generic, 6/6 Phyrexian Praetor. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. This ability triggers only once each turn. Only once! Only! Whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, they sacrifice a creature. This ability triggers only once each turn. That is ridiculous. So, if someone wants to add to the board, they can't. But if you add to the board, you put a ton on there. Like, you play a creature, and then all of a sudden you're playing another creature. This is really powerful. It is expensive, though. But I mean, Titan could play this in theory. Just ramp into 6 mana. Cast this thing. It's pretty disgusting. Eden says toilet paper. Whoa, are we watching Dominaria spoilers? Are spoilers coming out today? Anyway, no, we're not. We're looking at custom Magic cards today. It's Chains of Mephistopheles for creatures. This is worse than the original. This is worse than the original Shoal Red. Are you serious? Shoaled Red. This is hard to pronounce. Once a turn does basically nothing against control. So some people want this printed. Isn't that a Dominaria card? I don't think so. Not more busted than other Phyrexians. Ship it. Spoilers at 11. All right, this for anyone just showing up, these are not Dominaria spoilers. I don't want you to be screenshotting custom Magic cards and then posting them on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. Oh my god, the new Shoal Red is insane! Oh my god! Shio, as in Shio Geralt. Well, that doesn't help me at all. Are we printing this or not? I think it's busted. Maybe I'm wrong, though. You guys don't seem to have a problem with this. Seems decent. And it's really hard to... Well, it's not too hard to kill. I mean, we can kill with Unholy Heat, for example. This is a real card name, though? Okay. Oh, is it? Is it? Shoaled Red. Shoaled Red. No, we don't have the Apocalypse. If it was the same name, I would absolutely disqualify this card. It would be disqualified because Wizards of the Coast cannot print something of the same name with different stats. Unless you are playing Alchemy. As I speak, I just realized the error in my statement. The Whispering one is just better and doesn't see play. Are you serious? There's actually better... Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we'll print this thing. I think it's disgustingly OP, but whatever. Okay, been there, done that. A blue. Counter target spell if it has the same name as another spell, permanent, or card in graveyard or exile. Try to be a bit more original next time. Counter target spell if it has the same name as another spell or permanent or card in graveyard or exile. Oh, that's interesting. So basically, this is useless in Commander, but is going to punish people in regular Magic if you're playing too many of the same card. Trashing Commander. Yeah, well, not everything's made for Commander. Print it! Yeah, if you're going to be so unoriginal with your deck, play 4 copies of the same thing. It probably should have a better name than this. Been there, done that. That's like, it's okay. It's okay. Dio loves the flavor. I like the flavor text. Flavor text was amazing. Be a little bit more original, huh? I've seen this trick before. Ship, it's crap. I like this. Interesting, like this. Print! This might destroy Modern. It'll absolutely not destroy Modern. Diversify your threats, people. Diversify the threats. I think that's a really cool card. And by the way, it's useless if there isn't an additional copy somewhere in the graveyard, exile, or in play. So it's pretty useless. Is this just a mountain? Digital, nice, beautiful looking digital mountain. Murder! Black, 1 generic. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. That player mills 1. And the flavor text, is this a color pie break? Black, 1 generic. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. That player mills 1. That is so bizarre. But this card exists. I saw this card before the show started. This card already exists. So you can't print it with the... I think it would be interesting if they did the same thing but different name. But you cannot print the same card with the same name twice. But yeah, it's already a card. So it is disqualified for that technicality. But I do like this. Put target creature on top of its owner's library and mill 1. It's essentially the same thing, right? You're basically... you're still dealing with the creature, even though it doesn't actually get destroyed. So what, you can't regenerate. This would get around... What does this do? This gets around regeneration, right? Yeah, it gets around indestructible. Ooh, it gets around a lot of stuff. This might be a huge color pie break. Call it Murder, She Wrote. Funny way to print destroy target creature, though. But it doesn't destroy the creature. That's the thing. That's the idea. It deals with indestructible. It deals with regenerating creatures. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. I think that's about it. I would call it Loophole. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Just beautiful. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Itis, Nether Dancer. So, a black... Only one black mana for a 1/1 creature with a lot of words on it. It's a spirit. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, return Itis from your graveyard to your hand. Has haste. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice Itis. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Whatever this does, I think it's very fair. It actually takes a lot of work to be recycling the cards from your graveyard. I think this is a really nice, flavorful card. And you see this picture. This spirit is like dancing with, I guess, the dead? This spirit creature. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you can sack a creature in play, get Itis, play Itis, and then if it... I don't know why it has haste. And then at your end step, you can sacrifice and get a creature back from your graveyard to your hand. So it's like a really slow way of recycling creatures. So it's really neat. Ship it for the artwork. I like that idea. It gets around die triggers? Oh, you're maybe talking about murder. Also great art choice. Oh, it's a perf 10 out of 10 art choice. It's a Raging Goblin. It's an OP Raging Goblin. Bad Tortured Existence. Shred it. It doesn't have the right for acting in the second sentence. Total garbage. I have no idea what you're talking about. Probably wouldn't see play. Well, some commander deck would play this thing. And probably it's meant to be a commander because it's so cheap. Someone would use this. Oh, formatting is bad. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, return Itis from your graveyard to your hand. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice Itis. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I don't see what's wrong about this. It's fun and cool and seems fair. Print it. Tortured Existence should be modern legal. This would be great this would be a great Aristocrats commander. Anyway, okay. We're gonna print this thing. Print it! Sugarcane says print it. Alright. Moving on. The Fateseeker. Choose 2 backgrounds. What the hell does this mean? What's a background? Is that a real mechanic? Oh, because it doesn't say the full name? Oh, well, who cares? They can fix it. They can fix that in post. They can fix it in post. The formatting here seems correct. I make MTG cards as a hobby, and this isn't showing red flags. All right, it's a commander mechanic. Choose 2 backgrounds. Okay, is this okay? I don't know what backgrounds are. So in that case, you guys can let me know. Are we shipping or shredding this thing? For 4 mana, it's a 3/3. You get to choose 2 backgrounds. As far as the way I'm looking at this card, it looks like an AI generated card that they just made up a mechanic on the spot I've never heard of. It's Baldur's Gate commander stuff. It's a commander mechanic from Baldur's Gate. So let's see if you'll say shred, shred, ship, shred. This is a bad commander. Oh yeah, it's legendary too. Shred, shred. It's terrible. I hate it. Shred. It's colorless. Shred. Oh yeah, it'd be useless as a commander. All right, it's gone. It's gone. 2 backgrounds is too many. Alright, Sear of Pain, a red and 2 generic 3/3 creature. Whenever Sear of Pain deals excess damage, Sear of Pain deals damage equal to the excess to any target. So it's like if you have if it had trample, it shouldn't it be given trample in the first place? Whenever Sear of Pain deals excess damage, Sear of Pain deals damage equal to the excess to any target. Yeah, so you have to give it... I think it should have been given trample already. So we have to give it trample. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just how it's worded right now. If it deals too much damage, then deal it to something. So we don't actually have to give it trample. Yeah, it's super trample. Trample, but better, maybe. You can trample onto other creatures. It sounds like you can trample onto anything. So, yeah, so if we attack for 3 and they block for 1, the extra 2 could go to the player, could go to another creature, could go to a planeswalker, put it wherever you want. So basically, we're power creeping trample at the moment. Trample, truth be told, doesn't see a whole lot of play. Like, it's basically Primeval Titan, and then that's it. It does double damage with trample, right? I don't know. We got to get a judge here. If we give this thing trample, would it deal double the damage? Card is garbage. Art is awesome. I actually think the opposite. If it had trample, the damage would no longer be excess. Oh, that's interesting. Goes kind of insane with Torbrand. Well, of course, everything goes insane with Torbrand. You just throw Torbrand in your breakfast cereal and you're good to go. Kill 3 1/1s. Yeah, you're just totally screwed. So basically, like, you don't even want to block this thing. You just rather it just came and hit you. Okay, are we shipping or shredding this thing? I think it's interesting design, and also I think it's really fair at 3 mana for a 3/3 creature like this. What if it had double strike? Oh, then it'd be disgusting. Do a lot of excess damage. The excess. It's worded very awkwardly, but we sort of understand how it works. Print it, ship it, shipping. Are there any red fight spells? I think there's tons of them. I think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we're shipping this. A lot of people like it. They like the design. They want to see what happens. Where is it going to go? Take Dakrahi, Avatar of Drought. Red, green, and 3 generic for a 0/10 defender with haste. That is a big butt on that tree, folk. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, Dakrahi, Avatar of Drought, deals 2 damage to that land's controller. Well, that's lame. Tap. Each player searches their library for a basic land, puts onto the battlefield, tapped, and shuffles. This is a weird card because, like, probably the opponent is not going to search for a land. I think the designer failed to realize that the opponent can fail to find land cards in their deck, even though they could play a land. They could draw lands off the top of their deck and play them. Hey, where'd that land come from? Yeah, the last ability doesn't work unless the opponent wants to. They can fail to find. It should be more like you can search each player's. They should have worded it such as you search each player's library for a basic land card and put onto the battlefield tapped. I hate all the numbers. Too many numbers. Shred, not fun. Ramp your opponent for 2. If you format the last ability so they reveal off the top until they reveal a land. Ooh, that's a possibility. That's possible. Good design for a med draft chaff card. Ship it. Yeah, this is an uncommon. This is clearly a rare. You still get to ramp too. You still get to ramp even if they decline, right? Oh yeah, of course. Of course. That's how Field of Ruin works. You don't have to put a land onto the battlefield, but you most definitely will. You can ramp. Enemy can ramp if they are willing to take the damage. Makes sense. It's a bit weird card, and the 0/10 seems like too much. This gives me rare energy. I agree. 0/10 at uncommon messes up the draft format. Trash it. Yeah. You gotta consider draft. In the custom Magic card world, we need to draft this properly. Anyway, this is just a weird card overall. 10 toughness, uncommon, with an ability that doesn't really work. Yeah, moving on. The Spirit of Commander. Green, 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 green. 4 generic. For a legendary world enchantment. With, what is this? The Colossal Dreadnought as a picture. Players can't win the game. And for each player, as long as their life total is greater than 0, that player can't lose the game. Spells can't be countered. And spells and abilities that can't cause their controllers' opponents to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. But you can still destroy them. So what? We can still destroy the lands. It's misdesigned! I can still Armageddon, buddy! The one thing that you hate the most. You hate land destruction? They didn't get around that. It should have been also permanents can't be destroyed. Where's this card's silver border? Bad design overall. This should just be an emblem. You know, that would be interesting. Shouldn't they do that for Commander? Make some, like, sort of emblems that start the game that dictate the rules? Shred. Please burn it. Shred it. Commander players, you want this card in existence? The Spirit of Commander. It's a very... Like, this is not really a card they would print. Shred, burn. Like, how do you... What would you do if you open this in your sealed pool? You'd be like, damn it! I wasted a mythic on this. You can just play another world enchantment to get this off the field. I guess so. Alright. Some people say it's bad for Commander. It's a bad card. It's called Plane Chase. Plane Chase is underrated. Vivid Augury, a blue, sorcery, domain. Look at the top X cards of your library where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Put one of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is super scry. Look at the top X cards of your library. Or X, so like you could, so this is automatically like a, it's already preordained, right? I think this is at least preordained. Because you look at the top X cards, although you don't get to stack anything on top. This could be an insane cantrip. I mean, it's not unrealistic that this is just one blue, dig 4 deep. Yeah, you can max out at 5. This is good design? I don't think this is good design. Like, control decks. Control decks will be at least playing 2 colors. And we already have cards in Modern that are banned for that. I mean, look, we could print this and ban it in Modern and let it live in other formats. Like this is side grading Anticipate. Domain decks would love this. Of course they would. Omnath wants this. I don't know if Omnath wants this. They don't even have any cantrips in that deck. Maybe though. Maybe though. Sorcery speed makes this fine. Ha! Say the people who want Ponder unbanned. Which, by the way, I actually think Ponder should be unbanned. Easy to dig for 5 with the Triumphs. It's a true story. I think they're playing with fire here. I mean, it's a very interesting design. You know, I like the design of the card, but, like, it's definitely going to see a lot of play, and it's probably going to be one of the best cantrips of all time. It's going to be really good in any combo deck. Max out at 6? I don't think so. I think you max out at 5. I don't think the colorless Wastes land counts. Because it looks at the number of basic... Oh, basic land types? Oh, does Wastes count as a basic land type? Look at Waste. We're going to Waste! Not Wasteland. Waste. Basic land. Does this count? Council of Coffee? Does this count? I can't tell. I don't know if this counts. Wastes do not have a basic land type. Alright. I'm just going to trust one of the random person from chat. Waste is not a basic land type. Okay. It won't count. Should have been like Prismatic Ending. I think that was their intention. But anyway. Okay, are we shipping or shredding this card? I think I would rather shred it, but I don't know, maybe it's fine for Magic in general. They would just ban this in Legacy and Modern and probably Pioneer. I'm seeing a lot of shipping. I think a lot of people want to ship. Some people want to shred, but there's a ship. We're shipping it. I'd shred it, honestly. Another ship it. Fire it. I actually don't know. I can't tell if that means it's fire. Ship it, shred it. Ooh, it's pretty 50-50. I think, though, the consensus is too strong. Ship it, shred. Commander would like it. Okay. We're going to keep it. We're going to print it. We're gonna do it the R&D way. We're going to print it. And if it's a problem, we ban it. After 1 year of it's doing a lot of damage to the formats. Trollheim Executioner, a black and 2 generic 3/2 protection from commanders. When Trollheim Executioner deals damage to a legendary creature, exile that creature and you gain 2 life. It's a weird thing. No gods, no heroes, says the flavor text. How many shippers want it because they love blue? This is a weird... I can't evaluate this card. Like, I don't see how it matters that it has protection from commanders. I guess it can be a thing. So it can block... So, okay, it has pro commander, and if it blocks any commander, it exiles it, and you gain 2 life. That's basically how it is. It hunts commanders. Keep it. Print Trollheim. It's fine. Anti-commander. It seems like it's like against the nature of the format, though. It's, I mean, I guess if it's on the battlefield, you can just direct your creatures somewhere else, right? Magus thinks it's fun. Commander cannot block it or target it now. Yeah. This does also affect Planeswalker commanders and backgrounds. I think it would definitely affect the Planeswalkers. If the Planeswalker is your commander, then I'm assuming that's your commander. Not a good card, but worth printing. All right. Everyone says it's fair. The rules are fair. It's all fine. It's good. Let's print it. Valder, Son of Alrund. White, 2 generic. 4/4 creature. Hexproof from black. Boast. Blue, a white and 1 generic. Valder, Son of Alrund gets +2/+0 and indestructible until end of turn. Whenever Valder, Son of Alrund dies, create a 4/4 legendary black and white god token with death touch named Bali Vengeance Seeker. And there's a second part to this card. there is how much? I don't know. For some, I think for 3 mana, we can get Mist Latine out for a black, green, 1 generic legendary artifact equipment with a ton of words on it. This is a lot of words. Can target creatures with hexproof as if they didn't have hexproof. Enter the battlefield, place a vulnerability counter on target creature. Equip creature gains tap. Deals 1 damage to target creature. If this creature has a vulnerability counter on it, destroy it. God, this is too many. I am really in favor of this. Some people are saying ship it. I don't know. I don't even know the flavor you can equip for a green and a green and a black. You guys like the flavor? When it dies, create a 4/4 legendary black and white god token with death touch. Shred. They know hexproof is Shroud, right? Is it flavorful? I don't know anything about this. We're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! North mythology lore. Okay, I see. So those who like the mythology. No flavor text. Shred it. Alright. I hear enough shreds. Frankly, I hate cards that have too many words on it. You know, when the words get smaller on the second half, I think you know you've designed a poor card. Too many words. Don't like reading. Ipona! Steadfast Companion! We got a pony here. Alright. Green, white, and 1 generic for a 2/2 creature with mount. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pair this creature with another non-horse creature you control until end of turn. Great flavorful mechanic. As long as Ipona is paired with another creature, both have Vigilance, Lifelink, and Trample. Whenever you cast a legendary saga or song spell, if Ipona is in your graveyard, you may put her onto the so you may put her on top of your library. I thought she was going to go on the battlefield. Okay, whatever. It goes on top of the library. Interesting. So this is this the pony from Ocarina of Time? I think this is the pony on Ocarina of Time. If anything, there should have been an Ocarina artifact. When you tap, you may put Ipona from the graveyard onto the battlefield. You may play a horse from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Tapped. Or I guess you can search your library. We're not bringing back dead horses. Mount gives me way too many banding vibes to be acceptable. It's like Soulbound, right? It's like Soulbound. But you don't have to pay any mana. Actually, I can't remember how Soulbound works. You just cast the card and they're permanently soulbounded, and this one can soulbound with anything over and over again. Doesn't have horsemanship. Trash it. A horse that doesn't have horsemanship. Just based on name, ship it. I think this is a very flavorful card. Give it bands with companions? That's a bit weird. The mount ability should have been in Ikoria. I guess so. Are there any song spells? Not yet. Amazing flavor. Yeah, ship it. Ocarina, reveal the top card of your library. If there's a horse card, put onto the battlefield. Does that mean some big creature like Mimoplasm can ride it? I guess so. Anything can go on this pony. Songs are a popular mechanic that go around the custom magic circles. If I recall correctly, they're like sagas, but you choose the order the chapters fire off. Soul banding. Some people say shred, some people say ship. I think this is a good ship. I think this is a very unique, flavorful card. I think it's very easy to understand. I think it's great. I think it's really nice. Are there more cards here? Oh, Companion Song. And you got the horse token. So what is Companion Song? This has more words. You know what? This is too many words for me. I'm done here. Moving on. Sorry. Too many words. Nothing. Oh god. People are really obsessed with this nothing mechanic on this subreddit. 0 mana for a 1/1 creature. Flash. An additional cost to cast this spell. Discard your hand. They just have a hard-on for discarding your hand. They're masochists here. It's like a tiny elemental. This is like the baby version of the Big Daddy that we saw earlier. But this is if it's part of the morphling cycle, I think it should be, it should have these abilities like pay a black, discard your hand, play another black. This creature gets +1/+1. It gets -1/-1. Stuff like that. Yeah, one with nothing. Print this bad boy. Yeah, we need one with nothing with legs. Keep printing one with nothings until they work. Yes, run it. It's the end of turn dredge. Always wanted. Oh yeah, it's flash again. It's a 0 mana flash creature. This is stupid. We're not printing this thing. 0 mana flash. So this would see play in dredge because you could get it out for 0 mana, then start drawing cards immediately. The thing that keeps dredge a little bit sane at the moment is that you have to step 1 get dredge cards in the graveyard. Step 2 draw cards and get the dredge mechanic going. But this could just get it going immediately. I think you could, yeah, because you could. Okay, I'll tell you how this would work. You turn 1 play a draw spell. Turn 1 draw spell with it on the stack. With the draw spell on the stack, you then play nothing, discard your hand, and then when the draw spell resolves, you just use the replacement effect and start dredging. So it would be just completely busted. Imagine playing Brainstorm with this in Legacy. I don't know if that would be broken or not, but just immediately Brainstorm in response. Holding priority. Hold on, I'm holding priority. Nothing. Now I have nothing in hand, and then I'm gonna start dredging like crazy. Print it. We need to bring back Vengevine. This is grossly busted. Thoughts do not just disappear, they are stolen. Alright, Reconstitute. Blue, 1 generic, instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card. Search your library for a card with the same mana value as the discarded card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I can't tell if this is broken or not. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card. So to tutor at instant speed, we do have to discard a card, which maybe is a fair price. And it needs to have the same mana value. Yeah, it's transmute as instant, but you're losing another card. So it's like 2 cards. In transmute, you just lost 1 card. Right here, we're losing 2. And transmute, I think, was at sorcery speed, right? So let's like muddle the, where is it? Muddle the mixture. Yeah, so transmute was a sorcery. That makes things difficult because this could, in theory, for example, get counter spells that you need. You can just like discard a card, go get a counter spell, or end of turn go get a combo piece. I think this is really strong. It might be balanced because you discard a card, it might not. Remember, this is blue, people. What do you think blue does? Do you think blue has a problem getting cards around here? They invented card draw. And then green stole older ideas. Instant, it's instant instead, but it costs 2 cards instead of 1. Strong but fair. It's fine. I think actually, you guys, I think this is dangerous. I think maybe it's fair. I mean, if you guys want to print it, are we printing it or not? You think of all the combo decks that this card enables. Yeah, that's why this card should be a black. This should be a black card. That would make more sense, actually. That would make a lot of sense. Blue can use more cards. Disciple of Deceit. Ship it. Not amazing, but similar. Alright, green stole everyone's ideas. That's right. That's how green does it. Ship. Alright. You guys say it's good. Same mana value part is very restrictive. Transmute is much better. I don't think it's that restrictive. It's not that bad. You got 1 drops, 2 drops, 3 drops, 4 drops. How high do you want to go? Imposing Keep. How imposing is it just sitting there? I would have to be there. Okay, black, tap. Lose 3 life, then add 3 black mana. Whoa! Whoa there, buddy! Whoa! Okay, so it's actually netting you just 1 mana, right? So you have to tap, you have to pay a black, you have to tap it, and you get a dark ritual. So it's basically you get a ritual every turn. So it's still probably broken. You're not getting 3 mana for 1 card. You're getting 3 mana for 2 cards. So you have to pay a black, tap it. So that's 2 lands, net 3 mana. But it's still, oh yeah, and it's not even legendary. Not even legendary. Nope. Shred it. Ritual for missing land drop. That's true. All you need is two. You get to 2 lands and that's it. Not mythic, not legendary. Yeah, it looks like it's being printed at common. You guys pay attention to that. I don't look at the rarity of these cards. I'm not sure it would see play. I think it would see a lot of play. I mean, it probably is not going to be that great if you end up being paired against the burn player, but still, this is ridiculously broken. Imposing keep. Keep it to yourself. Everyone will play this, and like the 3 life, it means nothing in Commander. It'd be a snap Commander staple. Some people want this thing really badly. You can untap it and tap it again. Yeah, you could. You could just, if you could keep untapping it, I mean, if you have the life as well, you can keep netting a mana. Earl King's Torment. Whatever the hell that means. When Earl King's Torment enters the battlefield, exile all forests you control. That's a bit weird. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you. Whenever an opponent attacks you with 1 or more creatures, put a forest exiled with Earl King's Torment into your graveyard. Then, if Earl King's Torment has no more forests, exile with it has no more forests exiled with it, sacrifice. That's interesting. That is a very... It's like, what does this remind me of? The one with the accumulative upkeep of like, or not accumulative, the upkeep of discarding a card from your hand. Prevent all combat damage that be dealt to you. Although I have to say, it probably wouldn't see play because you could burn them down. You can still make the opponent lose life, and you can still make the opponent take damage through burn. I think it's an interesting card. I don't know if it would see play, but cool card. Feels, yeah, Solitary Confinement was the card I was thinking of. Really cool card for a stall card. Needs hexproof. Yeah, that would really suck. You like play Earl King's Torment, lose all your forests, then it gets blown up. Well, goodbye forest, you don't get anything. Does too much for a little mana. I don't think it does anything. Like, if you play this on turn 2, I don't think that's that big of a deal. And so, like, whenever you get attacked, you have to put a forest into your graveyard. And you don't get those forests back. They're gone. I don't understand the flavor of this, though. Like, it's interesting. It's kind of like Glacial Chasm, exactly. We do have cards like this in existence. Oh, Abrupt Decay says hello. Everyone says hello. What's it called? What's the spirit? There's all sorts of exiling effects. You don't like the design? Okay, are we shipping it or trashing this thing? I love this reference to the Earl King, a classic bit of orchestral pop music from a century and a half ago. I'm not familiar. Okay, Banana Beam says ship it. It's a fair card, print it. You know what? I heard enough people. Let's print it. I mean, it's not broken or anything. I don't think it's broken at all. All right, we got, I guess a lot of people in anticipation of the Dominaria United are coming out with all the Praetor cards. Ellis Norn Machine Mother. White, 4 generic for a 4/6 vigilant creature. Whenever you attack or are attacked, create an XX white Phyrexian creature token where X is the number of creatures attacking. That creature must attack and or block this turn if able. Whenever you attack or are attacked, create an XX. This turn if able? Hold on. Whenever you attack or are attacked. Oh, so if you attack or if they attack, we get a Phyrexian. All will be one. Do we create? Shouldn't it be like whenever a creature attacks or you are attacked, put like a Phyrexian counter on it, and I don't know, at end of turn gain control of all creatures with Phyrexian counters, something to that effect. All will be one. Pretty fair for a Praetor effect, really. At least it doesn't have Infect. Oh yeah, that's the least of our worries at this point. I don't think Ellis Norn ever had Infect though. Swoopster doesn't seem it's very good. Well, you get... What's wrong with this? Where X is the number of creatures attacking. Oh, yeah, I see. So you could attack with one creature. They just get a 1/1. It's okay. Fine. No rarity, but fine. Yeah, we don't have enough space for that rarity. The creature does not enter the battlefield attacking, but must attack this turn. It's worded... Well, what it is like, you get an XX creature that has to always attack. That creature must attack and or block this turn if this turn if able. So at the very least we have to block. Yeah, the whole attacking thing doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, we can't print this thing. Why would it ever attack unless it automatically had haste? That's very bizarre. Okay, we're gonna shred this one. Poorly worded templating. Mark Rosewater is disappointed in you. They're shaking their fist. Cloudburst. Red, it's a hybrid. Oh my god, what is this? Supposed to be a Metamorphose? Okay, so it's a hybrid of blue-red and a 1 generic. Overcast. As you cast this spell, you may discard a land card. When you do, copy it. Add 3 generic mana. Spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells. Absolutely not! Absolutely not. What are they, insane? What are these, absolutely nuts? Yeah, you've already declared attackers by the time the token is created. Yeah, I know, that's the problem with that thing. Oof, this plus all of dust. Basically, discard 2 cards. So basically, it turns any lands into a ritual. This is broken. I mean, this is mana to some insane amount. It's like, play this, discard a card, add 6 mana. Broken, too strong. And you don't even pay anything for that. I mean, this is ridiculous. It gets the big no. That is the big no. It's the greatest shame of all no's. You're never gonna make it in R&D school. You're never gonna make it. Okay, Yarmar, Lord of Greed. Green, red, black, 3 generic for a 5/5 legendary demon lizard with trample and haste. I like that they give some big, like the big chunkier creatures haste, so you at least feel like you got something out of it, even if it dies later on. Yarmar, Lord of Greed gets +1/+1 for each treasure token on the battlefield, and you can tap it, sacrifice a non-token creature to create a treasure token. Is this good? Is something you people want? You can automatically, so like when it enters the battlefield, it has haste, so you can tap it immediately to sacrifice a non-token creature and get some treasures. GWJ loves this card. I'd see it in a treasure deck. Oh yes, everything's a treasure deck nowadays. Yeah, sacrifice. Some people say it's busted. Sacrifice, new keyword. Seems alright. Did custom Dragon Highlander actually make a good card for once? Maybe. It looks balanced. Feels fair. Alright, are we shipping it? I think we're shipping it. Great art. This is great. This is giving me Streets of New Capenna vibes. If they had dragons there. I don't think... Did they have dragons? I don't think they had dragons there. I think this is a good one. There's probably some people who'd love to play it in a commander deck anyway. Gets +1/+1 for each treasure token. Really fair. It has trample, so good luck blocking that thing. Good luck! Braids, Conjur of Nightmares. Braids has gone blue. Actually, Braids is blue. Braids went from blue to black to Demir. As illustrated in this card. A human warlock, 2/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose between the following. Creature, planeswalker, or enchantment. Each player sacrifices a permanent of the chosen type. Each player who cannot sacrifice a permanent of the chosen type loses 2 life. Create a 2/2 Dementia Nightmare creature token if 1 or more permanents were sacrificed this way. So finally, you actually get value out of this. But why did they lose the land part? I mean, didn't each Braids also mess with lands? Braids is the only blue in Planar Chaos alternate timeline. One of the leaders of the families was a dragon. Oh, okay. True story. They literally had a Jund dragon that sacrificed and made treasures. Can you pick one of those I sent in a message? No, you gotta put it on here. Gotta put on custom magic. This is how the formatting works. I definitely don't want to start messing around with running Discord up and down here. Yes, run it. Run the psycho chick now. Just choose Planeswalker and everyone will lose 2 life. So at the beginning of your upkeep, choose between the following. Oh, so we get to choose it. So we just make our opponents sacrifice what we want. It's more selective. It's just at the beginning of our upkeep, we get to choose. So it's very similar. There was a white card that did this for I think 5 mana. You chose like a card type and then each player's got to sack something. Or maybe it was just the opponent had to sack it. I don't know. The wording here is a bit messy, but it works. Hey, frankly, there's a lot of cards these days I think is messy. Are we shipping it or shredding it? We gotta ship. We gotta shred. But then you get no tokens. Each player sacrifices a permanent. Each player who cannot sacrifice... Yeah, then you choose the name. You just choose something they can't sacrifice. A bit weak. Only a 2/2, but I'd ship it. Ship. Alright. We could use another Braids. She looks like Venom to me. She's got the symbiote or something. This is giving me... now that I look at it, it's giving me very strong Spider-Man vibes. Eric Torres with the super chat. Thanks so much. Please say stinky for me. Stinky. I don't know where you're going to use that as a soundbite, but go for it. Alright, the Fate of Zalafir. Fate of Zalafir, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Fate of Zalafir gains white. Target permanent phases out until Fate of Zalafir leaves the battlefield. Scry X, where X is the number of phased out permanents you control. What are we doing here? Let me reread this. Chapter 1, create a 1/1 white, and it costs nothing. If I understand, this has no mana cost. Oh, it's a land. It's an enchantment land. Okay, it's like Urza Saga. Okay, so we play this land, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Then Chapter 2, Fate of Zalafir gains gains white. Target permanent phases out until Fate of Zalafir leaves the battlefield. And then Chapter 3, Scry X, where X is the number of phased out permanents you control. What if we try to phase out... Target permanent phase out until Fate of Zalafir leaves the battlefield. What if we try to phase out Fate of Zalafir? Or is that still considered on the battlefield because it's just phased out? I don't remember how the phasing mechanic works. Yeah, I think it can phase out, but I don't know if that counts as leaving the battlefield. I don't remember. It's a plane, so it adds a white by itself. Oh, it's a Plain Saga. This is, it seems, I think, a bit broken, but I don't know. Scry X, or X is the number of phase-out perms you control. That's very bizarre. This looks like crap. It's either like, I can't tell if this is like really good or really bad. But we get a 1/1 soldier for nothing immediately. Phasing out doesn't count as leaving the battlefield. Okay, so phasing itself out does nothing. Okay, phasing doesn't leave the battlefield. I can't tell. Is this... Okay, are we printing this or not? It's a bit of a bizarre card in my IMO. Does it make mana? Yes, I'm assuming so because it's according to this, it's a plains. I can't tell though. Maybe it could be a plains card that doesn't add mana. That's how I would interpret it. No poll. Because if you use the chat, I get more engagement. It's all about the engagement, people. Shred. Yeah, it is fetchable. You could fetch this thing. You could fetch it out of nowhere, get another soldier. So it's like at the very least like a Dryad Arbor. It's too low on opportunity cost as a land. Ship. Strictly better planes. Shred. It's fetchable. It's a land plane, so it makes mana. I am engaged. That's right. You keep that engagement up. Good for commander. If you have the plane subtype, you get the mana ability. Maybe? I can't think of any basic land types off the top of my head that don't add the mana. Almost unlimited 1/1. Yeah, blocks Ragavan. Fetch land, pass. Oh, Ragavan? Got him. Ship, then regret it. Ship, then regret it, R&D. Go get a drink afterwards after you see you screwed up. That 1/1 is not a threat. Like, overall, this isn't doing a whole lot. It's a really hard card to evaluate, and you're gonna lose it. You will lose this card. Phase itself for free 1/1s. Shred. Ship, maybe. Alright, it's close. It's close, but we'll ship it! It's a shipper. We'll ship this thing. It's a really weird card. and we'll probably regret ever printing this thing. But we do lose it. We do lose this thing on chapters. Like, it's not too long until it's gone. I don't even know if a control deck even wants this card. Okay, that is it for Coffee and MTG today. Thank you so much for joining me. As usual, you do this 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Be there or be square. Thanks so much for the super chats and everyone who's become a member of the Coffee crew. I appreciate it, and lets me know that we got to do this every single weekday. We got to keep the coffee going, keep the coffee flowing. But of course, I have to thank all of you, because without you guys, there would be no show. You guys are the show, the Coffee crew, the people who show up every single day. You keep showing up, I'm gonna keep showing up. So as usual, keep brewing up that magic, and we'll keep brewing up the coffee. I messed up my finishing line. Take care of yourselves, and